Welcome to the A-Level Group Small Business Video Tutorial Series on Microsoft Excel. These beginner tutorials are designed for those of you who are just becoming familiar with and starting to get excited about working with Excel. Today we will be working on a simple amortization table. This is a great little tool for when you are considering a new loan, refinancing, or if you may have existing loans that you're looking for payoff balances, or to figure out how much interest or principal that you're paying each month on a given loan. Alright, so we will be learning four primary formulas: PMT, IPMT, PPMT, and FV. PMTs, payment I, PMT, interest payment, PPMT, principal payment, and FV's future value. Quick note on good practice here is when entering a function, always start by entering an equal sign, followed by the function, in this case PMT, and then an opening parentheses. You'll see that we do this often. If you don't do this, your formula simply won't work. Okay, so the loan amount. How much are you borrowing? Let's say that you are taking out a $50,000 loan, and let's say that your interest rate is approximately 8%. Again, good practice, always enter your interest rates as a decimal, unless the cell is pre-formatted as a percent. So we'll give this a loan term of 2 years, which is 24 months. And then we'll start with the periods, identifying each period, because we are calculating payments in each period, each of the N per number of periods for the term. So we'll enter 1, 2, 3 here. That should be good. Then we'll grab this fill handle, the little box in the corner, drag down until we see 24. Excel takes care of the rest. Awesome. Alright, let's start by entering the functions. PMT, okay, we are asking for the rate, the N per, the PV, and in brackets are FV and type. Anything in brackets you can typically ignore as they're not necessary or needed in order for the formula or the function to work. So the rate. Important note here, since we're calculating monthly payments, we are going to want to divide the rate by 12. And the N per is going to be the total number of periods that we have in the loan term. And then the PV is the loan amount, the present value that we are working with here. Okay, now we entered that, and you'll notice it comes up as a negative. That's fine in some cases, or for our purposes, we are going to want a positive value. So we make the loan amount negative. We can also make the interest rate negative. Accomplish the same thing, but I prefer the loan amount. Okay, so we have the 2261.36. Now, what I want to do is copy and fill this all the way down, just like we did with the numbers. In order to do this, we have to use either an absolute reference or a mixed reference. For our purposes, we will use an absolute reference, which basically requires that we input a $ in front of the column letter and the row number for each of our inputs that are cell references. Alright, very good. So we've done that. Now we can copy all the way down. And yes, they're all the same. Perfect. Now move on to the interest payment. So I equals PMT. And again, rate, and we're dividing by 12. Now it's asking for the period. So we're calculating interest on a per period basis for the entire loan. Okay, so here we want to include that still include the in-per total number of periods, the present value, and we can include that. We get the negative. We want to make the loan amount, the PV, negative, and we want to start inputting our absolute references as well, because we're just going to copy and paste down. Now we want to leave the C19, the period one, just as a normal cell reference. That's because we're going to be referencing all these cells. We want these to change as we go down. Because we're calculating, again, interest and individual period. And we'll see why that's important now. And we copy this all the way down to 24. And you'll notice that the interest is not always the same. So interest is taken out or is applied at a much higher rate at the beginning of the loan term than it is at the end of the loan term. Now, we're going to do PPNT for the principal payment. Again, rate divided by 12, and then the period was 1, the number of periods 24, present value 50. Right, now we can just go back in here, just make that negative, make this an absolute reference, make this an absolute reference, make this an absolute reference. Alright, awesome. And now we can copy all the way down. And you'll notice also you're paying the least amount down on your principal at the beginning of the loan term and the most at the end. Now if you add any of the principal and interest payments together in any given month, they all add to the payment for that month. Okay, now let's calculate the remaining balance, the future value. It's going to be a little bit of a trick here. We have the FV, so we want the rate, again, divided by 12. The in-per, now, instead of using the in-per, we're actually going to swap the in-per for the period. And this is because we're figuring out what the balance, remaining balance of the loan is in that given period. Okay, and then payment. So we have that. Present value, we do not need to worry about. And that is the, we do need to worry about the present value, and that we're going to make negative, because what we're doing is reducing the balance in all these periods. So this is an absolute reference, as is this, and as in the interest rate. Alright, now that we have that, so the 50,000 started with, we made a payment, 22.6136 cents, and now we owe 48,071.97. Now if you subtract this, the principal, from the loan amount, you'll get this. Now we just copy that all the way down, and we get to a final payment in the 24th month of 0 balance left. Yay, we paid it off. Now we can get the totals here and find out how much we paid in total. And we're going to use the sum function, which we've covered in other tutorials. So we copy all the cells that we want to sum, and we can just drag that function across these two here. So in total, principal we've paid 50,000, which matches our original loan amount. Interest over the life of the loan, we've paid $4,272.75. Now, if you add the principal and the interest, you will get the total payments made on this loan, $54,272.75. Thank you for watching the A-Level Group Small Business video tutorial in Microsoft Excel for the simple amortization table.